What is up, comic fan? Welcome to the Legion of Comics, and today we're about to take a look at this week's upcoming new comic book day. But before we do that, check this out. Huge thanks to Big Time Collectibles for sponsoring the channel and the monthly Legion Loot giveaway for the channel members. Also to Justin Comics. If you need anything cleaned or pressed, hit him up on Instagram. Use that promo code WeAreLegion and take advantage of the current special offer running now. All right, getting right into it. So last week was a huge week for me. Tons and tons of DC specifically books dropped. This week is kind of the opposite. Like it's literally the opposite. There's always that 1 week out of the month where the pool list is just a little bit smaller or vastly smaller. It's just whatever the small dog is. That's this week for me. It looks like I've got 8 books on my pool and only 2 of them come from DC Comics, which is definitely not normal for me. So let's go ahead and kick it off with Detective Comics issue 1056 with the Shadows of the Bat storyline. Still rocking and rolling. I have not read last week's issue yet. I'll be getting to that today, so I don't have too much on the details of this one specifically, but it's been the same thing. It's been just the Arkham Tower storyline. It's been good. It's been solid. We did see Little Miss Sunshine here on the cover kind of roll out of her cell and out of her shackles of the Psycho Pirate in the issue before last. So that last issue, I'm sure you saw a lot more of her, but I'm looking forward to continuing the story. It has been absolutely solid. It's action-packed. It's dynamic. And it's got a good, actual, like solid heavy storyline going all throughout it. I love the colors on this cover. Rodriguez, again, just crushes it. The Batman symbol at the top reminds me heavily of the Capullo era Batman with the yellow outline like that around the bat, but definitely excited to continue in with this storyline. Next up, we have from Tom Taylor, issue 9 of Superman, Son of Kal-El. And this will be part 2 in the finale of the Nightwing Superman of Son of Kal-El crossover. So we saw Jonathan Kent head to Bloodhaven to go seek counsel from Nightwing himself, much like Nightwing did with his father, Clark, years ago. And it was really cool just seeing that dynamic in the way that they interacted with each other. And of course, a little story arc had to unfold where somebody's going around killing these meta characters, like meta superpowered, whatever, these super people, kind of low rent people that they can die and not really matter, and you can keep them dead. So they're the mystery is afoot. So the Scooby-Doo gang here is going to go solve a mystery of whodunit. And I'm not really too much concerned of that story. This is all about the dynamic between Jonathan there and Nightwing. So I'm definitely looking forward to this one as well. This series has been really, really good. I'm definitely enjoying it. And next up is a big one that I'm really, really pumped for. And this one's it's gonna make or break a lot of people, but it's Punisher issue number 1 from Jason Aaron. So I'm not necessarily a Jason Aaron fan. I don't think I read anything that he does because he writes a whole lot of books that I really don't care about. But I'm on board for this. It's a new Marvel number 1. So I'm hoping to God that it'll be a good story where we take a character that I enjoy and deliver a story that'll be fun, dynamic, in this case, violent, and really, really, really cool, like they just did with Ghost Rider. I'm not crossing my fingers on this one because the whole synopsis behind it is Frank Castle is looking into secrets of his past, and it's taking him to go take the reins over from the Hand Clan of assassination. So he's turning in his guns for katanas. So is this going to be them trying to redefine Punisher and reintroduce him in a different way that's more palatable to a more general audience? There's a ton of criticism going around these days about his symbol because a lot of people like his symbol. A lot of different people like to use his symbol on like t-shirts and on stickers on vehicles. And for some reason, everyone else gets pissy about it. It makes zero sense in the world. But needless to say, Marvel is going to be quick to play cancel culture BS most likely and try to find an excuse to change his symbol. Either way, in my opinion, if you write a good story, you write a good story, he'll still be Frank Castle, and it'll still, as long as it makes sense to the story, we're all good. So if he's going to have this weird era where he's going to be the leader of a ninja assassin clan and his symbol is going to properly represent that, which the symbol that we saw that they're showing for this is a combination of some kind of ninja assassin clan and his own symbol. But either way, the most exciting thing about this series for me is we are finally getting the last Alex Ross Timeless variant with it. So as you know, Alex Ross did this huge mural of tons of Marvel characters And for a 2-month period, they rolled all of them out in variant covers for each issue that was dropping that month. And it didn't necessarily mean that the character on the cover pertained to the book. For the most part, they did, but there's some that weren't. But when it was all said and done, we were missing like Hawkeye, Vision, and Frank Castle Punisher. They ended up rolling out the Vision and Hawkeye one. And now finally, months and months and months later, we are getting the Punisher one. So I'm stoked to be able to complete and keep my timeless variant set intact. So that is just a gorgeous cover, classic symbol. Love it. And next up, and we have Mighty Morphin, issue number 17. So this is a big deal for a lot of Power Ranger fans out there. So Ryan Parrott, who has been writing Power Rangers for a long time, like a long time, is stepping away from the book to go on to other projects. I do believe that he's going to be writing something with Image Comics, either whether it be Radiant Red or Rogue Sun or whatever. He'll be working on the superhero universe structuring that's happening over at Image Comics. So we have a gentleman by the name of Matt Groom who will be stepping in to helm the Power Ranger titles. I'm not sure if he'll be writing both titles, as there are two, but this is Mighty Morphin issue number 17, and he will be stepping in at this issue. So I'm excited to see what he does with these characters, what he does with the stories, to see if he has a very firm understanding and a deep love for Power Rangers that obvious writers before him have, that really show on the pages and inside of the characters themselves. So I'm definitely pumped for this, and it's really a starting point for writers and readers alike. So we just finished the Eltarian War, so everything's in shambles, and this is going to be an issue about rebuilding, about renewal, about rebirth. We have the Power Rangers as well as the Green Ranger, who works for an independent think tank called Promethea, rebuilding in the wake of the disastrous Eltarian War. The command center's down, Promethea's destroyed, tons parts of the city are destroyed. The Rangers are definitely beat up and bruised and battered, worse for the wear, but they are ready to get back on the right foot. So I'm pumped to see where we go from here, and I'm wondering what this next big story arc is going to be. We still have not seen the Dark Spectre in over a year and a half of them teasing him. Maybe we'll get into that next. Maybe we'll get a little lull and just some kind of light-hearted kind of filler issues for a while, just to let this writer find his footing. That's kind of what I'm expecting, just some throwaway stuff. But as long as he's writing it enjoyable and fun, I cannot wait. I'm all on board. Next up, we have Seven Secrets, issue number 15. So I don't even remember what's going on in this book. Oh, yeah. So Amon has pretty much infiltrated what is left of the fractured secret holders, and he's going around getting his hands on the scattered cases, killing off more of the holders, and getting ready to set up shop real big. And Casper there comes in at the last second and goes and stops him, just jumps right in front of him, in front of the Stargate, and stops him from teleporting. So we should be getting a good finale to the third arc here coming. And Casper is actually getting to develop his powers a little bit. He's kind of controlling his flight and the energy projections around him. So we'll see if Amon has something up his sleeve, or if he's going to be opening some cases and really devastating things. We did see from one of the cases, it shows you 3 potential futures, all of which can be true. And all 3 of them, Casper is a major problem and danger for the world. And we saw that this book started with Casper saying that he is already dead. And so I'm assuming in one of those futures, he doesn't make it. And maybe they're fighting to get to that future to save the rest of the world. This has been a very intriguing story. It's action-packed, fantastic original world building that's happened in here. But I'm definitely enjoying it. Tom Taylor, again, knocks it out of the park. Highly recommend going back and trade reading this one. It is not one that reads easily. You take it one by one issue for the first 6 issues. It really doesn't set off and get rocking and rolling and really kind of become its own until issue 6. Next up, we are back with the most savage man in the land. We have the Sumerian, a.k.a. Conan, Hour of the Dragon, issue number 1. So Ablaze has been pumping out all these mini-series taken directly from Robert E. Howard's original short stories and putting them in comic book form. They are, as it says on the cover, savage and savage hero uncensored. They are unapologetically Conan, and they go hard in the paint. I definitely recommend these if you are a Conan fan. And this will be issue 1. They all go for about 2 to 3 issues at most. Hour of the Dragon, I did not check the synopsis on it. I have not read the original short story. I just know that I've enjoyed all the ones that have come before. I'm ready for this one. It's been a long break between them. They normally come out month after month, but I think it's been like 2 months since we've got the finale of the previous one. So I'm all in. That's a beautiful cover that they have rocking for it. And next up and finally, here comes the big one. We have We Live is returning. Finally, one of the Legion acclaimed series here. Like, I've absolutely loved that first volume, loved the free comic book day one. They actually have the Miranda brothers on the channel directly following the wrap up of the first volume. If you have not watched that, be sure to hit the playlist and the playlist on the channel's tabs and find that interview. It was a fantastic time, but we have been highly anticipating this one, and we finally have it. So we have We Live, Age of the Palladians, issue number 1, and this is the black cover. So there are 4 or 5 Palladians that have been introduced, and this book is going to be telling, kind of catching us up 6 years after the events of the last issue, showing us what the world looks like now after they have arrived, after the world's been saved from that imminent destruction at the first volume, and what it looks like moving forward. What are the new dangers? How is society getting along? Where are they having to like move toward everything? I'm so excited to get back into the world of We Lived that I wish there was more, and good luck, there is. We have We Live, Age of the Palladians, issue number 1, white. So this book right here will be taking place at the exact same time as the black cover does. It'll just be focusing on different characters, different Palladians. So I think this will, obviously it'll be focusing more toward the ones that are on the cover and the dangers that are going on in this new world, in this new time era, from a different perspective. I think specifically like what are the dangers from the air versus what's going on, the dangers from the land. I think that's how they're going to go with it. It's going to be pretty fun. Like I said, I'm pumped for it. It has been a long wait. I'm super excited that the Miranda brothers were able to bring us back to this world that they've created. It is glorious. Same creative team, Roy and Inaki Miranda, are on the writing, the scripting, and some of the interiors, as well as Ayla Deva Cruz on the colors. So I'm pumped for this. Cannot wait to get it. And be sure to come and hang out this Sunday night, tomorrow, for At Week's End. I'm doing a special edition, spoiler-filled look back at the Batman, which just came out this past Friday. We'll have special guests on to help break down, talk about, and overall just share our fandom of the movie, the highs, the lows, the in-betweens, if we can find any of the lows. But we'll have DJ Links, Nick's Kicks and Comics, and Bearded Comic Bro joining the panel tomorrow night. So you do not want to miss that. It's going to be a good time. And if you're wondering what my top pick for this coming week is going to be and why, be sure to check out the Comic Vet. Subscribe to his channel. Hit that notification bell, because every Sunday a video goes up where him and I both give you our top picks for this coming week and why you should consider looking for them in the store. And I also want to give a big shout out to the Augusta Book Exchange. They are the keepers of my comics, the guardians of my pool box. They always make sure everything I'm looking for is right where I want it to be the day that I need it, and you'll find no better customer service anywhere. All right, guys, leave me a comment down below. What are you looking forward to? Did I miss anything off this list? There are some other titles coming out. It's a heavy Marvel week. You have a new Spider-Man, a new Thor, the Lives of Wolverine, Deaths of Wolverine, the In-Between of Wolverine. You've got Strange Academy. Captain Carter's getting an issue 1 this week, as well as the Trial of the Amazons is starting, which the format of this Wonder Woman event looks very similar to the format of the War for Earth 3 event. So it looks like it's going to be a heavy read, a fun read if you enjoy Wonder Woman. Me personally, I don't get too much into the Wonder Woman stuff. It's, I enjoy her in team titles and stuff. I just don't really, just really doesn't do it for me. But leave a comment below. Let me know what comics do it for you. And until next time, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.